Keith Abel here, shooting a quick blog post. Today I want to talk about a book that I read back in the early 2000s. I can't remember now, 2004, 2007, somewhere in there, called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And in that book, he laid out 3 concepts on how to earn an income and how to become financially secure. One of the concepts was residual income. Second one was leveraged income. And the third one was multiple streams of income. Now, up to that point, I've always lived with the mentality of the 40-year plan. You know, you go to school, you get a good job, you work for a big company, preferably a Fortune 500 company, and you work there for 40 years, and then you retire. Of course, what they didn't tell you back then was you work that 40 years and you retire on 40% of what you couldn't afford in the first place. But anyhow, I digress there. So straight out of high school, actually, I went into work in the corporate world. My very first job right out of high school was with AT&T, and I thought I was set for life. You know, I worked for a Fortune 50 company at that point, and I just knew I was going to retire there. 40 years from the day I started, I would have been 58 years old, and I just could not believe I'd be able to retire at 58 years old. It was just unbelievable to me. I thought that was going to be fantastic. I'd be able to do all these things after I retired. Well, little did I know that the government decided AT&T was a monopoly that had to be broken up, and shortly after that, within my first 10 years of working there, the company split into all the little baby bells, and shortly after that, I lost my job. So, you know, lost that dream of working the 40 years there and then, retiring at 58. But I still had that same mentality. So I spent a couple years doing all kinds of different jobs, mostly in the marketing area. In fact, I even went into financial services, selling insurance and mutual funds and that type of thing. But it wasn't something that, it wasn't a job that satisfied me at that point in my life, and it wasn't something I saw myself doing long term. So I continued to look. I was still looking for that 40-year plan. And I discovered pharmacy through one of my clients. Went to pharmacy school, got good grades, got a good job, and got my license as a pharmacist, and thought, okay, now I'm set. I'm going to be a pharmacist until I'm ready to retire, and this is going to be fantastic. It didn't take too long as a pharmacist to realize that also was not something I enjoyed. The idea of owning your own store and running your own store, that would be fantastic, but the world we lived in at this point, that was nearly impossible to do. Most of the store owners were going out of business and selling their stores to the big chains, and the big chains, all they cared about was that you had a license and you help them keep their doors open. And that was basically it. So I wasn't satisfied, and I think that's what got me looking around and got me to read that book. Now, in 2011, 3 weeks before Christmas, my life changed drastically. See, the pharmacist shortage that we'd been experiencing up to that point had turned into a surplus of pharmacists over those last couple of years, because all kinds of pharmacy schools opened up all across the country. They were just cranking out more pharmacists than ever. So in 2011, 3 weeks before Christmas, the company that I worked for decided that they were going to replace me with a brand new graduate right out of school that had a doctorate degree. I only had a bachelor's degree, and they paid him $25,000 less per year than what I was making at that point. So again, the whole concept of, get a job, work for a good company, and retire, it was blown out on me. Just completely blown out of the water. And it's at that point I remembered back on what I read in that book about the 3 types of income. Residual income, that's a type of income where it comes in month after month, no matter what it is that you do. If you decide you want to take some time off, that income continues to come in. Well, I definitely didn't have that in pharmacy. The second one was leveraged income, and that's where you make money off of the efforts of other people. Gettings, I think it was, that said that he would rather earn 1% off the efforts of 100 people than earn 100% off of the efforts of himself. And that concept it's just amazing, the idea of being able to do that. And again, that's not something I was able to do in pharmacy. And then the third concept was multiple streams of income. So at that point, I knew I had to really start exploring the options in those areas. And that's when I started, that's when I started building my home business, my own company, the Aim High Able International Marketing, Leadership Development Consulting. And that's when I started doing some consulting business on the side to earn some multiple streams of income. I continued to work as a pharmacist, so I had that income coming in, and then I started looking at ways to build that residual income and that leveraged income, and that's what I found. And in fact, in end of 2012, I joined the first company where I started having success in the building the residual income and the leveraged income. Things were still tough for us from that job loss, and I was able to save my house. I was able to buy a nice car, a Cadillac CTS, and I was able to help other people get healthier and to create some income for themselves. So, that's what the whole concept of this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, teaches you. You've got to look for ways outside of the box, look for other ways to create that income, and to the best way to do that is help other people create that income as well. So, that's kind of where things are today. I now have Able International Marketing, Consulting, and Leadership Development has now morphed into multiple areas of business. I still have the pharmacy consulting part of it that I do. I build teams of people that show them how they can create extra income themselves. That's where the leadership development part of it comes in. And I'm still building other multiple streams of income through that business. Like I said, I still have my pharmacy business. I have the consulting business. I have the leadership development business. And just recently have have started moving into another stream of income through a company called David Allen Capital, where we provide short-term financing for small businesses so they can get through their tough times. So, like I said, of developing these multiple streams of income, and it's all because of I read that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'd like to invite you, if you would like to find out ways to create leveraged income and create residual income, to visit my website, aimhighforsuccess.com, aimhighforsuccess.com. That's aimhighforsuccess.com. If you're interested in working in the business world with David Allen Capital, then visit my website, DAC, that's for David Allen Capital, DAC.recordedvideo.com, and watch that short video there, and it'll show you how you can create some extra income yourself in the world of business finance. So just check out those two websites and get back with me. Let me know what you think. Both websites have places on there where you can contact me, and let's have a conversation about how you can create multiple streams of income, how you can create leveraged income, and how you can create a passive residual income that continues to pay you month after month, whether you go to work or not. Once again, thanks for watching this blog.